Welcome to the Super Bowl special of Comeback Liner. Cut! No. So this is brought to you by Pulsar Horizon, and this is Comeback Liner with our Super Bowl special. And to my left is Sinan, and to my right is Kyle and Q, and I'm Matt, your host. So guys, it's the Eagles versus the Patriots, one of the easiest roads Tom Brady has ever had to win his 6th championship. What do you guys think is going to happen in this Super Bowl?
Well, I'm going to go with the obvious guess that, like everybody else is guessing, the Patriots winning. I just think, the Eagles are a great team, but they've faced too many injuries. And I think, part of being what makes the Patriots good is them being there like almost every year. Mm-hmm. They know the drill. They know what they have to go through the 2 weeks. You're going to have a little bit of, the shock factor for the Eagles, the whole Super Bowl week, the interviews. Patriots kind of been there, done that. Nothing interesting. They'll be really focused for the game.
Brady's been there, done that. The rest of the team hasn't.
It doesn't matter. That's all that matters is Belichick and Brady, really.
Yeah, I noticed a specific word choice there. You said the Eagles were a great team. Was that with Wentz or without Wentz? Because what's their quarterback? What's that guy's name?
Who? I'm sensing a little Nick Foles.
There's a little Nick Foles hate here.
I mean, is
you don't think Nick Foles is even start
for the Rams? I mean, he had a hard time getting playing time with Jeff Fisher and the Rams.
Good coaching.
But we know Jeff Fisher doesn't know what he's doing.
I mean, obviously, you saw what happened with the Rams.
He left, and there's 2 quarterbacks become 100 QB rating with Keenum and Jared Goff as soon as he left. So.
I mean, yeah, Jared Goff actually became a good quarterback this year.
He's a second-year quarterback. He's got a year under his belt.
Nobody saw that coming. If you would have listened to the way the analysts and everybody was talking about,
they said he couldn't even handle a snap. I mean, that's pretty far back there. That's some practice squad stuff.
I mean, the guy was a top college quarterback, was he not?
Well, I mean, number 1 overall. I'd hope he was somewhat good.
So he's got talent. It was just a case of portraying it to the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
In conclusion, Nick Foles is not good.
So are we all saying Patriots are walking away with this?
I will say the Eagles, just to be a non-contrarian, but I would not bet a penny on the Eagles.
I'll be honest with you, with a 4.5 spread right now, it's an easy call to take the Patriots. I think they win by touchdown.
I think the better question is the over-under of 47. Do you guys think they'll go over?
If Nick Foles has a Nick Foles game, it's not even getting close.
I think it's going to be a blowout.
I think it's going to be an under.
Are you guys forgetting? I mean, he had a pretty good game against the Vikings defense that was rated top 3. So why are we saying it's just Nick Foles?
Because you have to understand, Nick Foles has had those fantastic games. Look, when he was a rookie, he had great games, and then
didn't he have like 28 touchdowns,
27-2.
Yeah, he had a great start, and then all of a sudden it was, I can't hit my open receiver, but I can hit the other guy just fine. The other team, I'll hit them.
It is weird how that works, when you get good coaching and you have a poor quarterback, and that's the difference. Is they're actually competitive still with Nick Foles. They actually made it to the Super Bowl. That's insane to me.
Doug Peterson, the Eagles coach, I think he's had that one mentality like Belichick. One guy out, next man in, do your job. Mm-hmm. And he's done that when they've lost key members on their defense, they've lost their quarterback. They just have not stopped rolling. They had a tough game,
Well, everybody knows their place. That's the key.
That's why I'm saying he comes from the Andy Reid coaching tree, kind of putting your quarterback in positions to succeed, like what he did with Alex Smith. So I think they have a shot, but I still like the Brady and Belichick. I mean, Belichick and his. He's got 2 weeks to prepare for this, so he's probably already got his game plan, and they're going to be ready for it. But I wouldn't say it's going to be a blowout. I think the 4.5 is a little insulting.
Well, we all know the refs were going to, give Brady a little cushion there,
Yeah, I mean...
Keep it a little, within 2 scores, just to demolish them in the 4th quarter for great ratings, hold it up, MVP for the, 5th time?
Maybe celebrate in the end zone with them, too?
Yeah. I was going to say, maybe a referee was in there cheering, high-fiving them this time.
Yeah, I got to say, I'm seriously falling asleep talking about this. We should talk about something our viewers actually want to hear.
What was that?
Is Pink going to hit the over-under on the minutes for the national anthem? That sounds like something.
Is Pink the actual person?
Yeah, she's singing the national anthem. There's a lot of money involved there.
There's a ton of money that moves on the national
She's going to be
anthem.
so amped up. I mean, she's in a crowded stadium. It's the Super Bowl. Nick Foles is starting. Gives me chills.
I'm going with the over because I think if she's singing the national anthem, she's gonna lock eyes with Nick Foles.
Wait, are they an item or something?
No, but it's Nick Foles. You see that pretty blonde hair?
No. I've never drafted him, so I don't know what he looks like.
Are they an item?
The NFL tabloids, right? So, what do you think about the drama that happened with the Patriots and Robert Kraft and Belichick?
It's all a ploy. I honestly think that the NFL needed something to make themselves relevant because they're losing ratings. Every which way you look at it, they're bleeding ratings.
Mm-hmm. Well, Vince McMahon's going to take over. The XFL's coming back.
Yeah.
And he's demanding that every player stand for the national anthem. I'm thinking, what a great businessman. That guy knows his demographic. A bunch of hicks, right?
He found his loophole to try to hit the NFL as the NFL was falling. And I hate to say it, I still think Vince is out of touch with reality. I don't see this taking off.
I mean, he's a male soap opera guy.
I think with our generation, we forget so quick. 2 years from now, I think people forget about the whole national anthem, and they'll probably be talking about, Brady and his 8th Super Bowl by then.
Part of the problem is he wants to face the NFL head to head.
You can't do that.
mean, and that's part of the problem. I mean, it's something he needs to build up the XFL. I mean, if you need to treat it as like a minor league system, I mean, go about it that way initially, and then once you build up the brand of the XFL, I mean, then you can face Goliath at that point.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's nice to have dreams and.
Well, how do you face a team that legitimately, as we've heard in movies and other people say, they own Sunday?
Well, not only that, they also have a sweetheart deal with the U.S. government, anti-monopoly laws, the whole shebang. They're one of the few businesses where they don't have the anti-monopoly affecting it.
Well, what do they do? Like, 30 corporations competing against each other. They're a little loophole.
I mean,
Yeah, they're loophole.
I mean,
loophole is
grease the
taxes,
wheels
that is
behind
what it
it.
is.
Yeah.
I mean,
But-
the fact that they don't pay taxes is disgusting.
Well, I mean,
Who's gonna? I mean, do you guys
That is kinda
actually plan
disgusting.
on watching the XFL?
I mean-
personally, I don't. I mean, they're not even gonna allow a guy like Johnny Manziel to play in that league. What kind of
why
league is
wouldn't
that?
they allow Johnny Manziel?
Criminal background?
Nobody,
Wait,
with, criminal, nobody
history?
with a
Get
criminal
outta
background
here.
or history
I
is
mean,
allowed to play.
what I think, let's do
Do
another.
you know what say eliminates from their potential base?
It's gonna be,
That's what I said. I think McMahon's out of touch with reality.
but hey, Tim Tebow's able to play.
Tim Tebow!
Jameis Winston stealing crab legs? You're out of here.
Pretty much.
Can you imagine if
Cam
Tebow stole...
Newton in the laptop
Right.
incident.
Well, I don't think they were convicted.
Wait,
I think it's just convictions.
Is
It'll be
Tebow still
interesting
on
to see
the-
where that
the
lies.
Mets?
That's why.
Yes, he is.
That's why Ray Rice
He
made
is
a
still with the
comeback.
Mets.
Wait. So is Tebow on the Mets still?
Tebow was invited to
Okay.
spring training.
Oh, is he gonna make the team?
Probably make the minors again.
Sorry, we gotta get those Tebow ratings.
Dude, that guy is one of the most likable guys, I swear.
Likeable.
He's so charismatic.
Yeah, he's gotta be
love him.
fake. There's no way that guy's real.
A good Christian.
He's probably hooking up with
that.
like
I don't think
500
so.
girls in this dude.
I read a story that when he first joined Florida, Urban Meyer didn't believe him, pretty much called bullshit about how good of a guy he was. Hired a private investigator to follow him for a
You're
month.
kidding me.
No, dead serious. And so he's like, there's no way this guy's real like this. And he found the investigator came back to Urban Meyer. He's like, no, he's exactly like this
Really?
outside of practice.
I mean, wouldn't that act get old? Like if you were his
Ned
friend?
Flanders.
Yeah.
He's pretty much Ned Flanders.
Yeah, but sexy arms.
Whoa, Ned Flanders is ripped without a shirt on. I don't know if you knew
That is true.
that. Anyways,
We digress.
yeah, we digress. So, okay. So, what do you guys, we'll switch gears here to our favorite team, the Chicago Bears.
Bears.
The Bears, what's your grade on Ryan Pace so far? Year 4. What's his record? I don't know, 14 and 36 or something?
The record kind of speaks for itself,
I mean,
right?
Jesus.
I mean, we need to win. I'm tired of losing. I mean, as a Bears organization, when's the last time we made the playoffs?
Yeah, we didn't make it with Trestman because we lost.
How many years do you give a
16.
GM though before you start establishing
Well,
expectations?
I mean,
Is having expectations a bad thing? Because we're going into year 4.
I think he needs to be competitive first year with Matt Nagy. Like, without question, they need to be super competitive, at least on
What's
borderline.
competitive?
Borderline plays competing for the first place in the division.
Oh.
I mean, no, seriously.
I don't think
I think we have.
competitiveness.
Well,
We don't have the talent. So
No, we need to do
you
what the
talent,
we
and
need
that's the GM's role. We don't have talent.
well, we do have
That
something.
falls on the GM then.
Yes, we-
So the GM is not doing his job.
Well, the question is do we not have the talent? Because there are players
Don't
that
we
we
have talent?
I think we
There's not a lot of
have
it.
we have talented players,
How many pro
but our coaching staff over the last two or 3 years has not focused on bringing out the talent of these players. They wanted just wins on the field, and they were playing whoever would get them the wins on the field, and it didn't come.
No, we can't draft talent that can stay healthy.
Well, yeah. Well, first year
Did
for
we
Ryan
lead the
Pace.
league in IR again?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
3 seasons in a row.
That is absurd to have your athletic staff have that many injuries. I think it was like the most in the NFL or something like that
I don't know.
over a 3-year span, for sure. And that, I mean,
Well,
statistically, isn't that
strength
weird that a
and
human
conditioning
body is
coach
worse
TPX.
under one guy versus another? I just think it's strange how strength programs are that important to
Or I
football.
think it's about signing. You think there are statistics and what you look at, and when you're looking at a player at a combine, or when you're looking at a player when they're working out, those guys focus whose body's going to break down. The good GMs know.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they don't know, but they can have some tells.
Wait, so you're saying you would not have drafted Kevin White?
No, definitely not. He
Who
played
got
one
hurt
year,
3
who had
straight
this,
years?
had one good year in college, and was facing injuries.
One good year. I mean, that wasn't even a top school. I'm like, he was like bare bottom. He was like Mitch Trubisky level starter, right? When they got drafted. He just had freak athleticism, and I think Ryan Pace fell in love. And then, of course, he overtrained probably and had shin splint. And the whole thing went under after that.
We were talking about the value of hitting on first-round picks, and you have Kevin White, Leonard Floyd, good player when he's on the field.
Mhm.
When he's on the field.
But he hasn't played a full season. And we had Trubisky, who
Which, who could be good, but then you
well,
also
we're gonna
got
play the
rid-
wait and see game. He didn't play the full season
You don't
because
think
we
you
had
could
that
just-
superstar Mike Glennon gave him a ton of money. Nice job there, Ryan Pace.
You don't think Trubisky can be a little Goff type year?
No,
next year?
I
Him in
absolutely
there?
do, but he's the first round pick. There's no track record there yet, so I'm gonna give him another season. Hope for the best, and like we talked about, we need to see them be competitive. 8-8, is that too unreasonable to expect an 8-8
I think
season?
they should be 10-6 next year minimum. Otherwise,
I mean,
I don't see them. I don't see them even getting close to 10-6.
I'll be happy.
Good coaches will make it work. That's all I know in the NFL.
Yeah, but you have to look at it this way. The Bears' offensive line is where it's going to start. And
Yeah, but they're all old now. They're
that's,
not even-
that's
they're
my
Andrew
point. They
Luck.
have maybe 2 or 2.5 offensive
How
linemen
many
that
times?
are worth.
How many times have they shuffled long and white hair? I mean, we can't even stay consistent.
Long
Our
played,
players
what,
can't even
3
develop.
games? What did Long play this year? 3 games?
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like we don't. Everyone's old and hurt now. They're approaching their 30s.
Okay.
So Q, what are your expectations on Ryan Pace?
Expectations for next year: 8-8, 9-7.
And do you think he should be
10-6.
jettisoned if it's not that?
It's not a matter of if there's enough talent. I'm hoping that the new coach Nagy can maximize the talent on the team. That's why he's being brought in. That's why we fired Fox. The duration of time that Ryan Pace has been here, I think it's pretty reasonable to expect to have expectations in year 4.
Yeah.
I can agree with that. I think
Absolutely.
the largest problem that I've seen, and I believe was the issue going into almost all the way up until this season, is ownership was kind of guiding how Pace was doing things. Ownership forced Fox on him. They forced some of the coaching staff. He didn't have a choice of his own coach. So when you've got a guy, you've got your GM.
Is that true?
Yes.
Are you sure?
What about
I've
the
heard opposite.
drafting? What about the signing of free agents? So drafting, signing of free agents, everybody.
Well, you're looking
Yeah,
at
it's free agent signings.
his free agent signings,
It's
but most of your free agent signings in the NFL are not good.
Yeah, it's true.
We can't blame John Fox for that too.
But John Fox did bring a lot of credibility back to the team. The organization. No, the organization was.
He was worse than Trustman, record-wise.
No, Trustman
That's
pretty much
embarrassing.
ruined. There was so much dysfunction going on.
Yeah.
On the team.
Yeah.
Fox came in,
Fox
started
created
cutting.
the locker room again.
Yeah, he created the locker room, all about football. The defense rallies around Fangio. There are rules, and players don't think they're above the team. You had the Jay Cutler issue, the Brandon Marshall issue.
Wait, what are the Cutler issues? He was a model.
We don't have enough time to go on about that.
No, Brandon Marshall was the guy. Jay Cutler was a consummate professional. He even from the time he got away from Denver in his first 2 years with the Bears, he really settled down. He was a different guy. So, do you think he will be re-signed next year? Jay Cutler, I just want to throw this quick one to the table.
I think.
You think his career is over?
I think if he's willing to be a backup, he might. But
No.
I think
He's going back behind the booth again.
Well, yeah, because
it's possible he could go to Houston. I mean, that's
Well,
a playoff
Watson
caliber team.
But
They
did you
just-
look at
Watson's
his
still alive,
stats this
right?
past season?
Yes. I mean,
Yeah,
How long?
he's
Yeah,
still
how long
coming
when is
back.
Watson
Playoff
coming
team.
back?
I think it's best for him just to kind of go back on the beach resort, let his wife take naked pictures.
Yeah, but if somebody's going to throw you another $10 million, why not take it?
I mean, maybe someone's going to take a gamble with that sex cannon he has.
Yeah,
come
true.
slinging over the field.
He did demolish Tom Brady in the regular season. I mean, he made Brady look like the 6th round pick that he was.
Wasn't there a stretch where Jay had the highest fourth quarter QBR rating in the NFL for like a 3-year span, and you guys trashed him? It's pretty sad.
Because the Bears were down in every game he was doing that.
Okay, and he almost brought him back.
Almost isn't bringing him back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Whenever, so I was a big Jay Cutler homer in my
You
day.
can tell, you know.
But you look back on the the stats, they were not very good.
No, I mean, consistently, terrible numbers. He'd show you a great throw here and there, or a great game here and there.
Yeah, like a 116 quarterback rating, and then were Bears won like 90% of those
He
games.
reminded me of Rex Grossman that one year he went to the Super Bowl. He led the league in most games with a QB rating of above 100, but then he also led the league in like the 6 worst ratings by a starting quarterback. You just never knew what you got, and you need consistency.
Well, that's where we got the term, the good J or the bad J.
Yeah.
And sadly, in the important games, the bad J always showed up.
Yeah.
Just curious, are we done trashing Ryan Pace, or is that still a thing?
I mean, I'm gonna hold off till I see if Matt Nagy sucks or not. But I've heard great things. Some coaches have said he's the greatest NFL coaching prospect they've ever seen.
Who said that?
I think Andy Reid said that, didn't he? Anyone else?
If he's from the Reed tree, I'm not sure you can take that without a grain of salt.
Here's a big trend I've noticed with Pace. He likes to take big gambles on players or coaches even that don't have a long-term
Don't have a history.
history, right? From Kevin White, very short history. Mitch Trubisky, won 13 games. Nagy, offensive coordinator, just 5 games.
The tight end, the basketball player,
Adam
drafted
Shaheen.
him really high.
I mean, and I think when your top picks are these big gambles, I think you can't have that
No, I
to
agree.
succeed long term because you're just
You
rolling
have
the
to
dice.
hit
He's
And
trying to
not
get a home
hitting.
run every time out.
Well,
Instead of trying to go
he-
for the double, he's going for the home run.
He's trying to be acting like he's smarter than everybody else.
Well, that was like Phil Emery's problem. Remember him? And then remember
Phil
him.
Henley's problem was he just gave too much money to old age.
No,
players.
he was horrible. How many players were left over when he left the team? Like they jettisoned everyone. He was
Well,
trash. He hired Trustman. Isn't that enough to say?
The
biggest
purpose
cuck
of
in
the
NFL?
draft is to maximize your draft position. And instead of maximizing the draft position, he's shooting for these unknown stars and he's drafting them ahead of where they actually should be. Shaheen could have been a 3rd round
Yeah,
pick.
I agree.
We took him in the 2nd round.
or he wasn't even supposed to be drafted. He wasn't supposed to be drafted. Why are you wasting pick? You could have gotten in 5th, 6th round. It's just he's always thinking I'm drafting the best talent available based on athleticism. But that's not how the NFL really works.
Well, just look at Watson versus Trubisky. We could have Watson right now.
It's a little bit of unfair comparison.
I wanted Watson from the whole
I
draft.
trust
Actually, without
I
trading
love
up.
Watson, but
Keeping our
Watson-
3rd round pick.
Watson also had-
interceptions. Look at his high turnovers.
Are you talking about Watson?
Yeah.
I mean, dude, the guy's a stud. And from the championship game on, you could tell that guy was going to be an NFL star just on intangibles alone. Some guys just had that instinct, And I think Watson had it. And then they went with an unproven quarterback in Trubisky with no, multiple years in his college career, and he's a complete prospect just for physical traits
But it's
and
not like
accuracy.
this Trubisky was like what, a Heisman. He didn't blow anybody out of the water in college.
He had good
I think the
measurables.
only thing that scared the Bears away from the Watson deal was the fact that he had the ACL tear previously. Not. He
Oh, is
didn't-
this the second one?
This is his
Yeah.
other
Oh,
knee.
I didn't know that.
He
that's
tore
awesome.
his other knee
So
previously.
He's going to be like kind of a
It's going to be very interesting to see how he bounces back.
yeah.
He bounced back well in college.
You know, other teams drafted quarterbacks ahead of Watson as well, so the Bears aren't the only one who passed up on him.
But I mean, did those teams need a quarterback?
Well, the Browns desperately need a quarterback, and they still suck.
They had Kaiser, right? And then they start him and then bench him.
Yeah, and then the
Twice.
Chiefs.
No, I mean, Chiefs got one in second round.
No, the first round.
Well,
No, Mahomes was first round?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Andy Reid's kind of has his quarterback that he has in mind.
Yeah.
I think that's what he wanted. But I think at the end of the day, Pace is taking too many risks and it's costing us. We need to build a strong foundation, strong base, not these big gambles. And look, when was the last time the Bears drafted somebody that can potentially be a Hall of Famer? Urlacher might be a Hall of Famer, but in the NFL, you should have.
Well,
quite a
Urlacher's
few.
the first ballot Hall of Famer.
Correct, but-
You know, in fairness though,
anybody else?
Ryan Pace
maybe?
has been hitting on his later
Custer?
round picks, surprisingly. So I mean, he has
Yeah,
made some
well, the
good
last few
picks.
drafts
He's
have been
missing on the
decent.
first couple of rounds,
Well,
and then he's
no.
hitting on the back nine.
It's really
pretty
his
much.
first season. Actually, they had Goldman, right? No, he's still a good player, but he missed on Kevin White. And that's a huge red mark. He hasn't played at all. Isn't that weird? How many games total?
But you can't.
3? I don't know.
You
He's got
can't-
the running back
you
position
can't
on lock.
miss-
Yeah, that's true.
Q's right, though. You cannot miss early in the draft. The fact he's hitting late is fantastic, which kind of gives me the hope that he's actually knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
But he's trying to take guys that you can probably get later in the draft as your earlier picks, and they're not working out to be that sort of talent level.
Mm-hmm.
You also need a lot of picks. Trading all those picks.
Well, that's a huge issue when you're trading third round picks to go up one spot just so you get deked out by the San Francisco. I mean, that's ridiculous.
How many first round picks did they give up for Trubisky?
No, they gave up the third round pick.
They got the
Remember
third round
first.
this year.
So they had the 3 pick, right? And
Yeah.
then they traded the third, and they moved up a
What
spot.
about last year? They gave up,
They gave up their third round pick last
Yeah,
year
and then
to
they
move
had-
up one spot.
and then they had to trade down to kind of make up for the pick
Yes,
last year.
and they did that.
So
And they probably passed on a bunch of
You know,
guys.
it's easy to sit here and we got a
It's all
job to
posted,
do.
yeah.
We got a job to do for our viewers. Give them our opinions. But I mean, what if the Cleveland Browns traded up to the 2 pick with San Francisco and they ended up drafting Trubisky?
Then you're stuck with
I
Watson.
mean,
Oh,
we don't know what
damn.
Trubisky is.
I mean, seriously.
but you also can't.
Maybe the Bears draft Kaiser then.
Yeah, that's true. Oh my God, can you
It's not
imagine
like the
Kaiser
Bears
over
to
Watson?
swing and miss on a quarterback.
Or you wait a year till you draft a quarterback heavy draft.
Yeah, but
this
what
year.
were we saying the
this year,
previous
Yeah,
this year's
they-
quarterback
well,
draft is
the
terrible.
previous year?
Oh my
think
God,
that's
they
one of
said
the
Kaiser,
deepest drafts.
Kaya.
quarterback?
There's only one quarterback that's even NFL ready.
You never know until the actual draft because the year before they said that was going to be the biggest year for quarterbacks. This past season. And, well,
Not
I guess
even,
Watson's gonna
we
be
were
good.
trashing Pace for not drafting a quarterback at all in the draft.
Well, he
His
passed
first
on
two-
Dak
his-
Prescott 3 times in the 4th round 2 years ago. Like, come on.
But
You will not one of your scouts could say this guy might be a good quarterback?
Is he a good quarterback?
Prescott?
Yes.
Yes. The Cowboys are solely in contention because of the running back and quarterbacks and offensive line. The whole shebang.
It's
Hey,
the offense.
offensive line. There it is.
Okay, well, you got a good offensive line, and you need a good quarterback
If you
still.
have
You
a
can't have a
system-
bad quarterback with a good offensive line.
If you have a systems quarterback, if you have an Alex Smith systems quarterback, and you have a good offensive line, he's going to look like an all-pro.
Yeah, but you also need a good quarterback to make those plays
Yeah.
to kind of, it always
have-
comes down to a few plays that make the difference. Alex Smith is never going to make those plays. He's going to give you a year with great statistics, but Dak Prescott can give you that. Plus, when it comes to crunch time, make plays.
But we all saw what happened when Elliott went out this year. Prescott looked
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah, definitely. They
fact that-
didn't stack the box.
They loaded the box on him, and if you look at it, Des Bryant is a shell of Des Bryant. He's no longer the same wide receiver.
It's true.
So I want to see what Prescott actually can do now that he has some controversy. He came into the league in the best of all things. He had a great wide receiver, a fantastic running back, and he had the best offensive line in the NFL.
No, all true, but I'm not saying
Raiders.
he's a top 5 quarterback. I mean, there's only a few quarterbacks where like Aaron Rodgers or Brady or Breeze, where you kind of like, you kind of give him whatever.
Carson Wentz.
Jay Cutler in 2 games out of the year, but you can kind of give him whatever, and they'll make
I would have been the MVP.
Out of that draft, he's right. Carson Wentz is the best quarterback out of that draft.
Last year or 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
But I mean,
no, it was
Wentz
last year. It was
drafted
God.
in,
This is
number
Wentz's
one,
second year.
two.
Oh yeah, 2 years ago. Yeah.
Goff went
Goff
1, Wentz
yeah.
went 2.
Mm.
But no, I'm just saying, you need a running back or some receivers, and that's the other problem with Trubisky. We gave him a good running back.
No wide receivers.
No wide
None.
receivers. How are you supposed to develop a
Off
player
the street.
when you can't even tell them, hey, these receivers will all be gone next year?
Well, we watched this first 4 games. The offense they were running was the most pathetic offense I've ever seen in my life.
Who is the quarterback?
Maybe
that's why.
No, with Trubisky when they took
Trubisky's
when
first game where he threw like eight times.
He threw 8. Yeah, what did he throw? The first game he threw 3 passes.
Let's just be thankful we don't have to deal with John Fox and Donald Loggins anymore. Can you believe Gase actually took Loggins? I mean, talk about nepotism right there.
Yeah.
Your little buddy that knows how to take orders or something.
Wait, you tell me?
The Miami Dolphins
Oh my God.
signed them as their offensive coordinator. Obviously, Gase is going to be.
What's an upgrade over that guy that was doing lines? We needed somebody to clean up.
You know your team's in disarray when your coaches are getting caught on social media doing lines of coke. I'm like, who takes a picture of that?
For hookers.
Yeah. For hookers. Was it a hooker? Was it for real?
Yeah, he was sending videos for like some Vegas
Oh, jeez.
hooker that he missed her. And he was wishing he was doing lines off of her assets.
All right, so you. Oh, it sounds like everyone's kind of.
Yeah, I mean, there's no point in talk. I think it's wasting time talking about the Super Bowl when, the Patriots are just gonna come in there, do their job, everybody knows their role, and they're gonna,
Yeah, it's kind of just hearsay at this point. We know Tom Brady's going to win. We know the refs are going to make him get close enough to be the superhero that he is. And then he's going to hold this trophy up at the end. And one of these years, he's going to call it quits and be the greatest football player of all time.
He's not calling it quits.
I know. He'll probably win 3 more Super Bowls.
I've got a question for you guys. Who do you guys think is
Michael Jordan.
Bill Belichick or Brady? Who is the biggest factor in the long-term success?
Belichick.
Belichick. Mastermind.
You think
Matt
Belichick?
Castle. Matt Castle. That's
I think-
won 11 games with
Well,
Matt
I
Castle.
think it's a
See, I think
game
that's a
game.
misleading statement
It
because
is. That's
they
what
won 16 games. So without Brady, the year before they
No,
won
that's
16
crazy.
games, right? So you had a great team. You remove Brady, you're 5 wins less, right?
That makes sense.
So it's to get a quarterback that gives you 5 extra wins.
Yeah.
I mean,
Was
it's not
that the
statistic.
year they went undefeated and Brady choked in the Super Bowl?
Hey, I just want to point out, you guys are
Actually, that was that
picking.
fantastic catch made by.
You guys are picking the coach over the greatest football player of all time.
He's not the
That's-
greatest football player of all time.
Do tell, Kyle. Do tell.
He might be the best quarterback. He's possibly the best quarterback. I mean, you still.
There's a
Possibly the best quarterback. I mean,
Yeah, I want to know
I don't
your
know if it's an
number 2 and
argument
number
anymore.
3.
It's a generation thing. How old is he? He's 40. You think he's playing football in the 1980s at 40 years old? Come on.
I mean,
it was a different game.
It's the Brady
Most
rule.
athletes
That's the
are
only
on
reason
age
he's still
change
around.
in the NFL.
he
That's why.
has his own rule.
the Brady rule.
That just says greatness.
No, it says
Isn't that like-
don't hit me, don't hurt me because I need to play longer.
No, that's like Will Chamberlain. They had to
Great.
change the rules to the game because you were that
That
great.
great.
I once saw
What
Ray
about
Lewis.
what about the Jordan rules?
Ray Lewis did a somersault on the ground and he took the quarterback out below the knees as he somersault and they threw a penalty flag on it. It was unbelievable.
So are you guys tired? I'm guessing you guys are tired of seeing Brady in the Super Bowl.
I'm not. I think he's awesome.
I am.
I think if you
I think
hate
it's fun.
watching this,
It's either the Bears or not.
or you guys would be the fans that didn't appreciate Jordan.
I'm disappointed. Garoppolo got traded. I would have loved to have seen what Belichick could have done with Garoppolo.
Oh, well,
And
the
that's
different.
the debate that we're having right now. Who's greater, Belichick or Brady? Garoppolo could have answered that. Because if he had Garoppolo, and he developed him, and he turns into a Hall of Fame quarterback, we're going to point and say, man,
What if-
that Belichick, he knew what he was
I
doing.
mean, Belichick's the best coach of all time, and it's kind of the yin and yang. You have one and the other. You have the best quarterback and the best coach. Obviously, that's why they
Don't forget
have
he's also the
5
GM.
quarterbacks. Yeah, I know. I mean, that's why they have 5 Super Bowls, though. You have the best coach and the best quarterback.
But I mean, take a look when Brady was his suspension for Deflategate. Didn't Garoppolo go 3-0 and before he got hurt?
Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
2-0.
Both of them. No, Garoppolo won a game. He gets injured before halftime, and Brissett comes in, the third string quarterback, and they win a couple more games.
Mm-hmm.
You have to admit, then there has to be something to be said about the coaching as well. I mean, Brady.
Oh, yeah, coach.
If you watch Brady throw a
obviously.
football, Brady hits spots where not many quarterbacks can hit.
It's the mindset, the intensity, the never give up, the perseverance, the making the right decision over and over and over and over, and it compounds into a winning formula. That's why having the quarterback is more important. You don't have Bill Belichick putting on pads, going in there, crushing people. It's Tom Brady bringing the people up. It's not Bill Belichick. That's all preparation,
Brady's
and
not
Tom
putting
Brady
on pads
executes.
Or crushing anybody.
You have the plan and the execution. The execution's Tom
But
Brady, and the
I
plan is
feel
Belichick.
You're forgetting, when have they given the only time they gave Tom Brady a decent receiver, he's made these receivers. Like Wes Welker.
Look what he did with Randy Moss.
Yeah, the year he had Randy Moss, he broke every record for there's out there, and it's like, okay, Julian Edelman gets hurt, Chris Hogan, get in there, just put on some shoe. I don't know if it's not even if your shoe or not, just put it on and just go stand there and I'm gonna throw it to you.
Yeah, but even before Randy Moss got there, he was arguably one of the greatest receivers of all time.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean.
Just
Look what
saying,
happened.
yeah.
It just elevated him to the next level.
Correct.
Having the best
That's the
quarterback.
only time he had, a bona fide great receiver. All these other years, from Welker 5'3" slot receiver.
Who's the greatest tight end of all time?
Gronkowski.
But how many years has he been hurt? I think he's
Well, yeah.
How many
Speaking of,
Super
is he
Bowls?
even cleared yet to play?
Not
It's
yet.
a concussion.
I mean,
Still in the
it's the
protocol.
NFL. They'll find a way to circumvent the system to have Gronkowski play in the Super Bowl.
But that's also Belichick's style. Never give any
Yeah.
tells.
I mean,
he's gonna have
what
a
did Brady have in
questionable
his,
until the day before.
what did Brady have in his hand? He had like 15 stitches or something, I heard?
He was adding a sixth finger.
For his sixth.
Yeah, it's all these rumors that he cut it. It was actually.
He's actually preparing his surgery for his sixth finger.
What else are you gonna do? You don't want to wear it in 2 hands. You look like an idiot.
All right, on that note, guys, this is a great showing for the Super Bowl. Everyone, check out PulsarHorizon.com. We're Comeback Liner. See you next time.
Take care.
Have a good night.
Ciao.